Hello, everyone. LJ Young, the founder of Sixth Sense. I want to welcome you to my new channel. I appreciate you guys very, very much. First and foremost, I want to show how humbled I am since the start of this channel. I did not expect to hear all of the stories, the other people that God has touched and helped them. I guess what it really is, especially for those of you that have never been in a narcissistic trauma bonded relationship, when you've been in one and you decide to talk about this, cannot be faked. Okay, I want you guys to make sure you guys understand something. Somebody that first you have to know that it exists, right? If you don't know it exists, that means you don't even know to copy. But anyway, once you speak about what happened, it's an automatic. You know, because of what's said, how it makes you feel. Now, if you're new to the channel, which is the channel's still very new, but if you're new from hearing me, what I said this channel's based on, it's based on my 6-year relationship with a malignant covert narcissist. And malignant means she was very, very violent and very abusive, verbally, emotionally, serial cheater, pathological liar, all of that. Now, I look at this channel will be unlike any other on the internet, because I look at my relationship with the narcissist as a blessing. And when I say that, I'm saying the man you guys are looking at today is a man that was born from narcissistic abuse. Somebody that left the narcissist, and then after the narcissist healed, got my knowledge, gained a whole bunch of knowledge about narcissistic relationships, just overloading with it, just where it was just too much. But also I healed myself by staying by myself. What you're looking at is a man that is on the other side that survived narcissistic abuse. You're looking at a man that's in a place that millions don't reach, okay? Millions don't reach this point. It's not easy to get here. Many don't even know this exists. You might be going through post this. You might have got discarded, or you might even left the narcissist, but you're still going through that hurt and pain. You don't even know this exists, but you got to go through it. You got to educate yourself on narcissism so you can understand that person that you were with is not just them. There's millions of them. They're different shapes and sizes. They could be your kids. They could be your mom, your dad, but you just happen to be in the worst kind, in a physical, sexual, emotional relationship. From what I've heard, a trauma bonded relationship is one of the hardest things on earth to break. I had to ask God to help me. God had to help me. And I told you guys this story earlier. I went through the dark night of the soul. I didn't even know what that was until I couldn't explain what happened to me. I was meditating outside next to a tree. I'm going to make it real fast because I told the story before. I was meditating under a tree. God came to me and said, "Hey, I didn't bring you to Washington to send you back to South Carolina, back into the torture." And I cried like unbelievable. I'm sitting, bending over in the chair. Next thing you know, I'm standing outside my body. Me and God looking at me, talking about, why are you crying? Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. That's ego. That's death of ego. Death of ego was crying. He was the one telling me, "Hey, it's okay if she cheats on you and hits you. You could still love her." And it doesn't even make any sense. It makes You're looking at a man that's on the other side now, and the power of being here. God set this on my path so I can be here in front of you. I want you guys to understand something. Sixth Sense would not have been born had I not went through that. God knew I was strong enough to get through it. That's why he put me in it. That was the only way to show me listen, people, There is no other way to show a person this. There's not a school. You can't talk to you when you're in a narcissistic trauma bond. You can't even talk to you about your problems to a couple that's having a normal relationship. You can't even do that. They won't even know what you're talking about. They'll be saying, "Why don't you just leave? Why don't you just call the police?" But they don't understand what it means unless you're in it. That relationship was my cocoon for this. Everything, listen, within those 6 years, I accomplished so many goals. Everything else, listen, and I mean this, everything else was perfect. I was like, hey, but this is the whole, this is the whole thing. When I was in the relationship, I was in Washington, D.C., South Carolina. I was like, hey, God, I want to go to a sunny place. I want to do this and that. And guess what? All of those dreams were granted. But the only thing I didn't know is I attached it to a narcissist. I didn't know that. But everything else was perfect. So now that I'm out and you're looking at the butterfly right now, now I just look at all the positive things. I barely even think about her. There are so many positive things on the other side that it overshadows whatever that was with her. This channel is for the people that get here because there's not many that are here. I want you guys to understand the power of this. Narcissists, once you get here, you got to understand, narcissists don't know that they're narcissists. That means they don't know that we can see them. You don't walk around, you don't have to walk, you don't walk around with self-confident problems or not afraid of everybody to talk to because of what the narcissist did. If you're feeling like that, that means you still have to heal some more. Because once you get here, you're not afraid of any of that because you can see them from a mile away. As soon as you hear them talk, their mannerisms, whatever, you got firsthand knowledge. You got to understand the power in that. If you got out of it, you did something millions of people, regardless if you got discarded or not. If you're out of it, you have to realize the power in that. If you were a person that had self-confidence problems and you believe the narcissist made it worse, all you got to do is heal. Come here, come to this right here where millions of people don't get here. Millions. And if you do, that means you're special. That's what that means. Once you get here, gone are your self-confident problems. You won't care about what anybody else thinks, especially a narcissist. Narcissists are the worst kind of people that usually talk about you. Those are the worst. Because if you think about it. Do you have a desire to talk negatively about another person? Absolutely not. Only narcissists do that. Why do they do that? Because of how they feel about themselves. Where I'm at, I don't care what a person does. If they're not harming me, I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm never going to see them again. I want all of you to understand the power in this. When you come out on the other side, first, think about the whole path. First, you get caught up in it sexually, emotionally, psychologically, and then you're in it. And I was in something that I didn't even know existed. So I'm in a world, I'm like, what's going on here? Everything's the opposite. Listen, everything was the exact opposite of what I wanted in a relationship. She was the exact opposite. Fooled around, lied, cheated. It was crazy. And I couldn't understand why I was staying. And then you got to get out of it. Then you got to heal. And then you get here. Once you get here, the whole world is your oyster because there's millions of them. And they think they're fooling everybody. Do they hurt a lot of people? Yeah. But listen, when you get here and you come across and you recognize one out in the crowd or they're everywhere. You'll know as soon as you hear them speak, you look right at them. You don't have to say nothing. I'm not saying look at them like mean or anything. I'm not saying just look at them like I see you. You know, you don't look at them like you want to fight them. It's a different type of energy. You just look at them and say, hey, I see you. You're not fooling nobody. Like when I think about my ex now and I look at her, clearly she's a narcissist. I could see that a mile away, but I didn't know before. Now that's only because I've healed. I'm not wondering what she's doing or how she's doing it or with who. As long as she's not with me, I don't really care. All I'm doing is telling my truth. I'm not trying to convince you guys of anything, because those of you that never been in this is a whole different language. You cannot lie about being in a trauma. Why would you lie? You'd be embarrassed. Why embarrass yourself? When you're in a trauma bonded relationship, half the stuff you can't tell anybody because you'll be too embarrassed. The people would look at you and say, why are you staying with that person? And you won't have an answer for them. This video even talks to the people that are in trauma bonded relationships. They might come across this channel and say, hey, wait a minute, he sounds like he's talking to me. Yes, I'm talking to you. Yes. Are you staying with a person that's constantly cheating on you and telling you that they love you at the same time? You're in a narcissistic trauma bonded relationship, because obviously if you were out of that, you wouldn't tolerate that. Are you in a relationship that somebody physically abuses you and tells you they love you at the same time? You're in a trauma bonded relationship, because if you take out the emotions and a stranger comes up and slaps you in the face, you're calling the police. You're going to be like, I'm pressing charges. You're not even going to think twice. But for some reason, you don't do it because you love this person. That's called negative love. Love is positive and negative. The people that slap you and tell you they love you, that's called negative love, okay? People in positive love not only don't hit you, okay? Not only don't hit you, that doesn't even come to my mind to hit you. Do you understand? No woman in the world has ever got me mad enough to where I wanted to punch her in the face. I'd leave. God got me here. I want to tell this to the people that understand what I'm saying. Okay? And you guys will understand this. The love that I have for myself and God came from my mother. Okay? Came from my mother. I asked God when I was in a relationship, can you help me? Because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm lost. I don't even know who I am anymore. And guess what happened? My mom came out of the hospital, and guess what? She needed help for a month. Now, I love my mom. If the narcissist would have said, hey, I don't want you to go see your mom or go help your mom, I would have it would have snapped me out of the narcissistic fog like that, because I love my mom. I would have looked at her like, are you crazy? I'm going to see my mom. I don't care what you say. It would have snapped me right out of it. But she didn't say nothing, because she was going to cheat on me anyway for a whole month. But anyway, I want you guys to hear this. So God used my mom because he knew that I wasn't going to say no. That doesn't even come to my mind. Okay. I want you to understand that was automatic. Okay. Yeah, I'll be up there. Yeah, it's no problem. He uses my mom. It lines right up. Okay. Lines right up, pulls me out, takes me out of the environment where the narcissist had full control over me. I had nobody, her place was in her name, everything. He pulls me out, takes me here. I have the dark night of the soul, and then I wake up. The love I have for my mom that she put in me since I was a child saved me. That's how he uses people. You just ask for his help, and he'll put the plan in action. You might not like the plan or how it's going, but you got to flow with it. If you keep running into brick walls and it seems not to be going, that means that's the wrong way. Because when you flow in the right way, let me explain this to you guys. When you flow with the right way, your life flows like a river of positivity, uninterrupted, no rocks, cool breeze, nice little stream. It flows. There's no blocking of anything. And when I'm saying blocking, I'm saying stopped, can't move nowhere. I'm not saying, hey, I got to figure out something. That's not a block. You just got to figure out something. It flows when you're going the correct way. That's the way God tells me that I'm going the right way. All the positive things start happening. When I started going the right direction, there were so many positive things happening for me. Oh my God, I can't even tell you. I'm like, oh, and when I started this channel, and again, like I said in the beginning, you guys humble me. When I started this channel, instant flow. I'm like, I'm just sharing my story. I'm just sharing my truth. That's it. It's not even hard work. You guys know I'm not doing anything special. I'm just telling the exact same story that millions of people have, you guys. Millions of people. Millions of people do not make it here. Millions of people do not make it to the other side of it, where this is the reward right here. This gift, I will never abuse it. I will never take it for granted, ever, ever. I won't start this channel and then some big scandal comes. That will never happen, ever, ever. I know I had to earn this gift.